Having a strong back isn't just great for looks, it's great for strength and longevity. In this video, I'll give you my top 5 favorite exercises to help grow my back as well as many of my other clients' backs, and they absolutely loved it. It worked really well for them, and I think it could do the same for you. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Devin. I'm a certified personal trainer with a master's in exercise science. I've helped hundreds of busy professionals reach their ideal physique, even on a busy schedule, and I hope to help you do the same thing. So without further ado, let's jump into my 5 favorite back exercises. All right, so our first exercise, and maybe the most important exercise to learn how to do to really grow the back, is the barbell bent over row. Now, you don't have to do a row with a barbell, as you'll see in some of our upcoming exercises, but this is like the foundation. If you know how to do this, you're definitely going to really build a big and strong back. So what I have here is just a small tin on each side, but it's got a big diameter, so it's not like one of those little plates. It's a good size plate, just like that. Now, you don't need any weight. You could do it with just a bar as well. There's a couple of different variations that you can do right here, but I'll show you 2 of the most predominant ones that work really, really well. With this exercise, no matter what version you're going to do, you're going to start with your feet right under the bar. I can actually look down and I have my shoestrings right under the bar if I look down. So that's how I'm starting. And then from there, I want to be in a good, almost deadlift position. So just like this, my back is pretty straight. Now, it's okay if you round it a little bit, actually. A lot of people think you have to have your back straight on every single exercise, and that's not the case, especially when you're working your back. It's okay to slightly round and then arch as you go through, because that's like a full range of motion with your back. So what it looks like is I can be slightly rounded if I want, just like that, or I can be more tight like that. So whichever one you prefer. From here, I'm going to grip it just like I would a bench press, so slightly outside of shoulder width. You can also do a reverse thumb grip. I prefer that. Some people just think it feels weird, so that's totally fine. Now from here, I'm going to row it up to my belly right there, and then back down, just like that. Now, if you want to, you can also come up to your chest. That's going to hit more of your upper back. And then that right there is called a pendlay row. Now, if you want to, you can do something called a Yates row, which is where you simply twist over your hands and you go a little bit closer in, about shoulder width. And instead of going all the way to the ground, you come just past your knees. So just like that. So whichever version of the row that you choose, just stay consistent with it. Choose whatever feels the best on your joints and whatever you find works best for you. And give these a shot. This is going to be one of the best exercises, like I said, for really growing the back. You can see I'm out of breath with just doing a few different reps right there. Imagine doing like a full workout with bent over rows. These are awesome. So the next exercise that we're going to do is going to be utilizing a dumbbell. So I'm going to grab one of these right here and a bench. Now, you don't need a bench. I'll show you how to use it without a bench here in a second. But this is just simply a dumbbell row. This is actually one of the first exercises I ever learned how to do. And I actually thought it was for my triceps. And I was like, why are my triceps not growing? Why is my back just getting big? Luckily, it's because I was doing these. So I stumbled upon it on accident. But a lot of people know this exercise, but they don't really know how to do it properly to where it really focuses just solely on the back. So I'll show you how to do that right there. So I put one knee on the bench, the knee of the non-working arm. And same for that hand. So just like that. And then I put this leg just kind of far out like that. And then you can start with a good arch in your back. And then from there, I let the dumbbell just kind of hang. Now, what I want to do is actually stretch it out even further. And that gets a good stretch in my back. And now from there, I'm going to draw it up. Notice my arm hasn't even bent yet. Look at how much range of motion I have without even bending my arm. That means I'm utilizing my back. That is all back work right there. The bending in the arm is just the icing on the cake. So what it looks like is this. Back, 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 slight arm right there, and I get a good squeeze at the top. And what I like to do is actually kind of twist my hand slightly on the way up. So it's, if I'm looking at it, it's kind of more like horizontal right there. It's kind of going straight across my body, like perpendicular, and then parallel. Just like that, and I can feel a good squeeze at the top, good stretch at the bottom, just like that. Now, if you don't have a bench, totally fine. You could actually just simply like lean over on whatever you have, if it's a table, a chair, anything like that. And if you don't have that, also totally fine. You could just lean over like this and do either one arm at a time, or if you had 2 arms or 2 dumbbells, you could do both dumbbells at that time as well. So this dumbbell row, just like the barbell row, is one of the most important ones for really hitting and developing the back. Now, most of the exercises we've done have been just straight on, like perpendicular to the back. Now I want to take you into an exercise that's more of a vertical pulling motion so that we can hit a lot of the lats. And so that's a different part of the back. So let's go ahead and jump into that. All right, so one of the best vertical pulling motions is the lat pull down. A lot of people do these. Just like the other exercises though, do they do them right? And do you really utilize the back when doing this, or are you just going through the motions? So I'm gonna teach you exactly how to go through a full range of motion with this while utilizing all the back musculature. So what we're gonna do is I just grab just outside the bend in the bar. Now that's like up to like whatever feels most comfortable for you. So what I do is I get my legs really tight in there on the pads, and then my starting position is going to be slightly forward. So I already have a good stretch right there in the lats. That's really important. A lot of people kind of start right here relaxed. No, you got to start really far forward, good stretch. And then from there, you're going to draw it down, touch your upper chest, just like that. Then back up, slow, controlled, stretch it out. Then down and squeeze, and notice my elbows are kind of tucked in. They're not flared out, but they're also not too far in. It's somewhere right there in the middle. Stretch, and then on the way down, you also notice I kind of lean back just a little bit. So don't get that confused though with like rocking back and doing it like that. Some people do that. It's kind of like the old-fashioned bodybuilding style. We don't want to do that. We want to be very controlled the whole way. So if I were doing an actual set, it would look something like this. So there is movement, but there's not a lot of rocking or anything like that. So that is one of my favorite exercises. That is a vertical pulling motion that you can really do to utilize the lats right there and really grow those out. So if you've never done those before, definitely make sure to give it a shot and try it that way. And like I said, the grip is up for like variation. You can do, overhand wide grip, or just like on the barbell rows, you can go underhand and a little bit closer. So give those a shot. All right. So we're going to move into another cable exercise next, which is going to be for more of a rowing motion. So we started these 5 exercises with a barbell bent over row, and that is definitely one of my favorite back exercises for really developing strength and overall hypertrophy. But we also did the dumbbell row, and that one was great too. I really, really like what is known as the cable row though. So this is really good for just having a full tension throughout the full range of motion, and you don't have to like bend over, and it kind of like feels weird to be bent over like that and have all that weight. So if you don't have a barbell or dumbbells, but you have cables or even bands, you could do like a band version of this. This is one of my favorite ones. Plus you get to sit down, so that's pretty cool too. So what I do with this is you just start with your arms like really straight. And just like on the other exercises, I'm actually going to let my back slightly round right there at the top. So I have just a slight round. And then notice how much range of motion I get before I even bend my arms. So I'm rounding, I'm extending and arching, and then I'm pulling my arms in, just like we did on those dumbbells. And just like you probably want to do on most back exercises. So here's what it looks like. We're going to start forward, row back, squeeze, and then forward just like that. This is one of my favorite exercises for really feeling that stretch and then feeling that squeeze. Now, of course, if you have the right attachments, you could do one arm at a time as well. But this is just a great exercise right here for really developing overall back musculature. And like I said, you get to sit, so that's a positive. Now, we have one more back exercise that we're going to go into, and it is a great exercise that's really unique that I don't see a lot of people doing. So it is also one of my favorites. So without further ado, let's jump into it. The 5th exercise, one of my favorite exercises for really targeting the upper back, is something that some people call a face pull, but I kind of do a different variation of it, and you'll see why here in a second. I call it a high row. So what we're going to do is grab a cable right here, a cable attachment with a rope, and you're going to put it somewhere over your head. So it's like way over your head, and you're going to get a good stretch right there. Now, the reason I don't call it a face pull much, I mean, you could, but is because when you do a face pull, it's going to work a lot on the rear delts and the rotator cuffs. So you're going to come up like that with a face pull. The difference is I am going to do more of an overhand grip, and I'm going to pull down with it, and my elbows are going to be in instead of up like that. So it's less rotator cuff work. So, like I said, they're interchangeable. I call it a cable high pull though, or a high row. So what it looks like is I'm in a good power position just like that. This is pulling my arms forward, just like on the other exercises. You'll notice my shoulders are coming forward. I'm slightly rounding, and then I'm arching and bringing it all the way in, just like that for full squeeze, full stretch, full squeeze. This is really, really good for targeting the upper back musculature. So all the other exercises, the lat pull down hit kind of the lats on the outside. The rows kind of hit the bulk of the middle of the back and stuff like that. So this is one of the few exercises that really hits more of that upper back shelf back there. Now they all hit the back in general, but I'm talking about this just really targets it. All right, so those were 5 of my favorite exercises for really growing and developing your back. Remember, if you really have a strong back, you're gonna have really good longevity in your life. It's gonna help you at work. It's gonna give you more energy. It's gonna help your posture a lot. So just make sure to try out some of these exercises. And if you have before, let me know in the comments down below which are some of your favorite. And if you have any suggestions for future videos on what you would like to see, also let me know that in the comments down below too. If you want some help on how to train while traveling on a busy schedule, I have a travel training guide linked in the description down below, and the principles in that guide have helped out several of my clients while they've been traveling to stay fit and even grow muscle on the road. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure to check that out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.